Amazing having a great evening like this, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. First of all, I really want to thank everyone for joining this meeting today, and like I said, I'm hoping we're going to have a really great time, working together and brainstorming and building something great together from the scratch. Just a quick introduction of myself, and then I think everyone is also going to introduce themselves to the whole pack, So yeah, I'm Elizabeth Akinsonya, and I am the founder of the Multicultural Food Hub. I'll tell you a little story about myself. I came into Australia, that was about 6 years ago, and started trying to create value in the business environment, looking for gaps that could be filled. And yeah, I found one, and I thought, yeah, let's give this a go and make it happen. To be honest, it was really tough. And imagine, I didn't have a local network apart from about 3 families that I knew here in Australia. The language, in terms of the ideology for marketing the product was different. The culture was completely new to me. I had to start learning, and then I was also living in the region, and that region I was living in, we were more or less like very few, multicultural or African people there. And it was very daunting. And I tell you, like I said, it was really hard. But on the flip side, settling down in Australia was pretty much easy for us in terms of getting a job, integrating into the community and all the rest. And then at the point I looked and I was like, what's the contrast? What's the difference? And one thing struck me, and that thing was, when we came in, we had a few friends that we were referred to, and those friends gave us tips, where to find, what kind of jobs are available that we can quickly do to get started. They even shared with us how to get started. They helped us look into our CVs, how we can tailor our experiences and all the rest. And within a month, I was able to get a job. My husband was able to get a job that we settled in, and we started working. They even told us up to how we can quickly settle down, in terms of setting up our house, and everything was all set within 2 months, basically. And luckily enough as well, in that period, we still had another friend who told us about the mistakes he had made in terms of buying a house and all the rest, and told us and gave us a benchmark that, see, if you can save this amount of money, you should be able to get a house by the time you've done your PR. And we started saving aggressively and working towards that. And you know what? By the 3rd year, is it 3rd or almost the 3rd year, we were ready with our savings, to buy a house. And that was before COVID happened. And then afterwards, everything started going up, 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 up. So what made the difference? And then I now thought to myself, what if entrepreneurs had this opportunity to have, as they're coming into Australia, starting their businesses, to have that person, that community to guide them through and show them the ropes, of everything that is new, and then they're able to succeed. So basically, that's why we are here today, and that's why we've called this meeting, this town hall, for every one of us to be able to brainstorm how can we support one another as migrant entrepreneurs, overseas-born entrepreneurs, to succeed in Australia. So I want to say again, welcome. You're not just attending this meeting, to be honest, you are shaping the future. And I want to say thank you for coming. So I would hand over to Lucy. Lucy, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liz. Hi, everyone. My name is Lucy, and I'll be taking us through the business introduction segment. So at this stage, what we will actually need from everyone is for us to introduce our businesses and also the culture we are representing. So take, for instance, myself, Lucy. My business name is Lucy's Delicacies. So when the media team actually shows a slide of your business name, what I want you to do is for you to take part in it and be very engaging. You just go over to the chat section and type what your business is all about. So for me, I sell cuisine from Nigeria, more of Eastern soup. So once my business name comes up, I'm going to be typing that and saying exactly what I cook and what my business is all about.
Toyin, you came here in 2010, originally from New Zealand. Sorry, originally from Nigeria, but you've actually come from New Zealand. I'm just wondering, Toyin, if you could actually share with us maybe the 5 most difficult culture shocks that you experienced when you came to Australia as a business person.
I think I can have a go. Right, when I came to Australia, right, and I started business, one of the things I first of all noticed was that the language, the marketing language was very different. Like, unlike where I was coming from in Nigeria, you probably have this product and you share the benefit. Once you share the benefit, basically, and people like the benefit, like, you're selling, right? But when I came to Australia, I found out that it was more of like marketing and ideology, basically. So you have to like market your products around things like being ethical, around things like being ethical. You have to market your business around being eco-friendly. You have to market your product around, all these different kind of ideologies to make it like really accepted. So that was a culture shock for me, because when I came, I was like, okay, this is the benefit of what I'm doing and all the rest, but no, it just didn't fly. And then I had some friends who were like, okay, if you want to, and good enough, I was connected with the Business Connect New South Wales, so they kind of started guiding me on ways to really go about marketing. So that was a big culture shock for me. And then another big culture shock for me in business was the laws. Basically, there were so many laws surrounding things. Back home, when you want to start a business, you're not thinking too much about the law. Like it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but you're not thinking too much about it. You start your business, you already understand the terrain, you understand how things work. So I had a lot of fears. I didn't want to get into trouble, and back home, if you want to market your product, you could easily just walk up to people and give them flyers. You can send out text messages, but here I discovered that you can't just send out text messages to people, because it's probably going to be seen as encroaching into their private space. You can't just walk up to someone and just hand them flyers and things like that. So that was one big culture shock for me. So I don't know if anyone has experienced any other kind of culture shock, but yeah, that was for me.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
I think we've heard quite a few different people that have actually struggled, not just in this chat, but that have struggled with the differences, having migrated from a country. Different laws are different, aren't they? Different policies. I'm just wondering, Toyin, you've actually migrated here in 2010. Would you like to be able to share some of the most things that you're most proud of in your business journey so far?
Buki has put down something. While we're waiting for Toyin, I think that's Toyin Oyekon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Toyin Oyekon. Okay, while we're waiting for Toyin Oyekon, I think we can. Buki said, my major shock was trying to understand how the business structure works here in Australia. Luckily, I bumped into Food Markie's webinar in association with the New South Wales government. I was able to get a coach who mentored me all the way, ensuring things were done right. So thank you, Buki, for sharing that.
Wow.
Yeah. Toyin, are you ready? Toyin Oyekon, is she there? Otherwise, Toyin came in 2010. Okay, otherwise I think we just move on from here. Oh, there's a hand. Tabitha, yes, please.
Yes, my name is Tabitha Chepkwony. I'm here on now 2 hats. I'm working with Multicultural New South Wales, which is why I'm here, and thank you for inviting us. So I'm representing Multicultural New South Wales. But with this question, I think I'll probably just wear the other hat, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah.
A while ago, I joined a few friends of mine to set up a food stall at a festival. And it was not like what we used to do in my home country in Kenya. There's a lot of documents that you have to submit to the council. There's a lot of red tape. Then there is inspections, and also work health and safety, understanding work health and safety regulations. We had just left New South Wales to Victoria, where the festival was, and this was a massive festival. Being also able to understand other businesses that were there present. Yeah, I think, and also at the end of it, being not only registering your business, but also being ethical and ensuring that GST, how people are, paying and able to pay and all that, and submitting tax returns at the end of the day. I'm working with accountants, so all that I found it a bit different. Thank you.
Thank you, Tabitha. Yeah, that's those ones you mentioned are really big ones, especially the tax thing. I think that was another big one for me. Like every time I kept getting this notification, because I just went ahead to register for GST, and then I just kept getting this notification quarterly to submit things, and this was me with wearing so many hats, and then coming to deal with GST and accounting and all the rest. It was like So yeah, thanks for that, Tabitha.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, Joey.
Everyone's doing all right. Well, that was a really, really good discussion. I will be taking over, and we're going to be talking about pain points. So some of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Joe. I'm also an entrepreneur and, an academic as well. But, business entrepreneurship is my thing. I am the founder and CEO of Charcoal and Chops. I know some of you guys, and some of you guys probably do know me as well. So some of the things we're going to be talking about are, the pain points, the things that we experienced that was painful in this journey of entrepreneurship. And I'm going to give you a case study, right? We're going to be talking about a person called Tadros, right? And I want you to try and see how you can relate to Tadros in this communication, so we can figure out some of the major struggles that we go through and come up with a solution for them. That's the whole point of this exercise. So please be as engaged and think about everything. This is your time to really pour it out. Let's find a solution and figure out a system that will just make life easy for us moving forward and for the people that are coming in. Okay, so Tadros was a top chef in his home country. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I've got a bit of a cough. Tadros was a top chef in his home country, but when he moved to Australia, he found himself in a very unfamiliar environment, unfamiliar kitchen, new ingredients, figuring how to source ingredients, new tools, new, staffing system, trying to figure out pricing. No one knew his name. Mind you, he was a chef already back home. A lot of us, some of us became chefs or took on catering or food business when we got here, because, well, maybe you wanted to make extra income, maybe you realized that you were really good at cooking, so you might as well. But then Tadros and some of us actually had restaurants back home before coming. So imagine coming from where, if you're back home, like somewhere in Nigeria, you'd probably be a madam, you probably have like 10 people that are working under you. You're just basically facilitating stuff and telling the person, you turn this, let me taste this, Then you come to a dynamic where you are the one doing the physical legwork, and everything has changed. No one knows your name. No one calls you madam. No one respects you. You are doing everything. You're figuring everything out. You're going to the market. You're shopping. You're cooking. You're doing every single thing, right? So many of us come here with such experiences, but we also come with a lot of passion. But that doesn't stop us from facing the barriers in the system, right? And some of them we still don't understand. Some of them we figured out. So what you find in groups like this is you see people that are advanced, you see the people that are upcoming, and you can tap knowledge from each angle. Like nothing, no experience is wasted. So today is pretty much about fixing some of these pain points, right? And we're going to do it together. So what Liz is going to do, or someone in IT, someone in the group that's managing the IT stuff, we're gonna split into little groups, breakout rooms, and there are 2 discussions I want you to have. The first 15 minutes, I want you to come up with, from your personal experience or people that you know, what are the biggest challenges that as a multicultural food entrepreneur you are facing or you have faced in trying to start or grow your business in Australia? Don't worry about writing it down. We have facilitators in each breakout session that's going to repeat the question so we can go through it. But what I want you to do is in each group come up with 8 to 10. I'm so sorry. It's the weather. Come up with 8 to 10 points that you would consider pain points. Now the second, and when we come back in those groups, please pick a spokesperson that will summarize what your 8 points are. Now the second discussion point is, what is a practical solution or support or resources that a business community or a business club should provide to make it easier for multicultural food entrepreneurs to build and scale their dream business? So what are those support systems? What are the resources that, a business community like this should be able to put together to make it easy for someone that's coming in or for someone that's trying to grow to build and scale their businesses? Okay. Again, 8 to 10 ideas. 8 if you're running out of ideas, 10 if you're like overflowing with ideas. Pick a spokesperson, and when we come back, we'll have a discussion and we'll see which one is more common amongst all of the groups, and we can start actually coming up with solutions for some of these things that we face. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's fine. I think each group, like we said, would have a representative, right?
Yeah.
Come back and summarize and talk about the pain points and the solutions that you came up with. So I am representing my group because I think I was one writing down notes. So what I'll do is I'll post, because I was writing it down on my computer.
Yeah.
I'll post it in the chat list so you can put them into a poll. It'll be easier for you to copy and paste rather than trying to type it individually as I'm writing it.
Okay.
And as I'm posting it in the chat, I also want to discuss through it very briefly to the rest of the group, because I think they were very interesting pain points. And I'll be interested to know if, sorry, it's saying I think my word count is over. So I'll post the first 4 and I'll post the next one. All right, perfect. Now they've come through. So the first thing that came up was, trying to navigate a business to fit into the Australian market. Like the person that mentioned it had a specialty snack, and how do they get something that's so niche into the Australian market where they've never tried something like that. And the solution we came up with is that when you meet with your community and you networking kept on coming up. So this is why groups like this is so important, because you may think you know it all until you come to a gathering like this and you hear an idea and you meet. Like right now, there's the lady that was in my group that I want to connect with because she's an accountant. I'm like, I need an accountant actually, and I'm like, and you can just hear her passion about what she's doing, and you'll be like, I need this person on my team. There's so many. Even just attending a thing like this can get you a customer. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Networking is so important, and I think we take it for granted. You come to something like this, some people are not participating. I know we're all multitasking, but literally it's the kind of thing where you hand over. In fact, from yesterday, I started telling my household, I have a meeting. From this time to this, I will be unavailable. My children, my husband, everybody just knows. Because for you to really focus and get the meat of what you're doing here, you need to actually be intentional about allocating time. So networking was so important. When you go and network, that's when you meet someone that can introduce you to the right community, to the right people that are going to try your specialty snack, or that have done it before and tell you how they do it. Another thing is, you look for the community, like we mentioned, doing like mini versions, like free versions of what you do to hand out to people. And in that free version, it can be like, let's say for instance, you're selling chin chin, nobody knows what that is. You can have a mini sachet of chin chin with a QR code, and you're like, please follow me, give me a review after you've tried it, let me know what you think, so you can purchase next time. Even if they don't buy then, they've tasted the quality of what, and please let it be good quality. We're not getting to that today, but make sure that you're delivering optimum service and products as well, because that's what's going to get you repeat customer. If you have bad food, they might buy it once and they will not see them again. What you want is repeat customers. So from the food quality to the pricing, everything needs to be on point. Second pain point, not understanding the business process before opening up a business. That was a big one. People having, registering for things they shouldn't register, like GST. Meanwhile, you only need GST when you're making a revenue of 75K and above, or having outstanding lodgements because you quickly rush to open a company profile, and now you don't realize that you have to do quarterly lodgements because you have a company. So should you have gone with a sole proprietorship or partnership that does not need that regular responsibility and the yearly payments? Again, we talked about networking with people that are able to advise you. Even if they can't advise you, they'll connect you. They can tell you, oh, I have a great accountant. They even help me with knowing what to claim during tax time. Or I have this accountant that's passionate about small businesses. This one is now beyond monetary gain, so networking came up there again. Another one was competition with people in the same niche. So oversaturation, breaking through that, dealing with customer loyalty. You want to start a business and you realize another person next to you has 5 million followers. You have one. You're like, when, God, when? It's already frustrating you, So we talked about the solution being look for something unique that you can bring to the table. For instance, I do African food, I do Nigerian food. There are lots of caterers. So I decided to do something niche. I saw these, non-Nigerians doing canapes and things like that. So I came up with recipes, made the canapé setup so beautiful. So I still have people coming, but they're coming for the packaging because it's so photo worthy, it's Instagram worthy. Well, someone came in and she was talking to us before we broke out about, being a baker, meeting with other bakers, and, she feels a bit intimidated sometimes. And my solution to that is that, because everyone else is doing a similar thing. You understand? Everyone is doing a similar thing. So think of what can you do that's unique. Maybe people are doing large size cakes. Maybe you decide to do cupcakes with a bit of a twist. Maybe you decide to do, just a bit more creativity to the point where you are now able to collaborate with those bakers and they don't see you as a competition. I have other caterers that will call me and be like, Madam, there's a client that wants me to do a big pot of this soup for them, but they also want those fine small things you do. I don't have that energy. Please, can you come and, because before you find areas where you can collaborate, okay, and work like that. We had a shipping agent in our group, talking about saturation and things like that. Or some food entrepreneurs are still buying locally, very expensive prices. If you tell them, Madam, this price I'll give you, it will cut down your overheads by this amount. Ship with me regularly. If you can't take this quantity, gather your other food entrepreneurs. There are always, and it's in networks like this that you get to know. You get to know this kind of networks and this kind of community that you can leverage off of. Then another very interesting one was cultural stereotyping. So she was an accountant and she has a Nigerian name. And of course, the reputation between Nigerians and money. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I had to laugh because she was laughing too. Imagine having a Nigerian name and you're telling them you're an accountant. Who's going to give you their books to run? We don't know if you're going to come with a African prince and princess story. So I think for me, what I wrote down, we didn't get to discuss hers, but I wrote down that she should definitely leverage off of reviews and testimonials. She must have, from hearing her passion about the role, she must have customers that have benefited significantly from her service. You actively send people, Google has a link where you can actually put even if you don't have a physical location, you can put your service and have a review link. So after somebody is happy with your tax lodgement, just like, hey, if you have 5 minutes, please write review for me, I beg, from your genuine experience. Don't go and give your family members and your children to review for you. Like, there should be some kind of, authenticity in there as well. So lack of knowledge, awareness kept on coming up, and that's our summary.
I'll try not to repeat. We almost had the same point, really, in terms of food and health regulations, insurances, marketing, taxes, lack of knowledge of where to start, and policies that hinder participation. For instance, policies around visa, what they do and what you cannot do. In terms of solutions, we had coaching and mentoring, and we gave an example of a funded. I gave an example of a funded organization that helps. Yeah.
Do you have your things written typed out or?
No, I didn't. No, okay. I didn't type it out. No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So
Yeah,
I'll just
so
write down.
in terms of we had coaching and mentoring,
Okay.
and there was an example of Thrive is a mentoring organization, or an organization that is funded to assist migrants and refugees to set up business, and sometimes they can also give you some money.
Okay.
Rebuilding or building a reputation, which you sort of, the first group mentioned, networking, and having a checklist, like a cheat sheet, which I think also in some government agencies they do have it. And if you check properly, sometimes they would have it in language too, because I can understand that in multicultural communities you may probably have people with language issues. So someone was suggesting to have a cheat sheet or a document on what to do, what not to do, that could be available. And also another solution coming from government is there are various grants. And this year we saw a grant from a government. I shared a link with the other team on grants that was focused for women in small business. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so we've got the polls up. What are the top 3 solutions to the problems that we have? Most of the ones Tabitha mentioned are basically what the first group also mentioned in terms of market entry and all the rest. So, yeah. Can we just do our vote? Yeah. So, mentoring is taking the lead, building reputation. Yeah. Community providing a cheat sheet or document guide to help. Community also providing the information to grant is also there. Okay, thank you very much. What we spoke about, we talked about understanding and navigating the laws, the regulations, the systems, and all that. We also talked about the cost of running business. So one of us talked about she wanted to start a production business, and she went to seek a producer or a manufacturer for a contract, and she was billed about 20,000 just to start. And eventually she had to look for an alternative way to start. So yeah, the cost of running the business is also a big one for some of us. Then some of us also talked about time, because some of us are working basically and also running the business, building the business on the side. So the time to find information, the time to even offer the service has been a big challenge for so many of us. Then we also talked about getting into the market, finding the right clients. So sometimes some of us get stuck with, should I market my product to just people in my cultural, from my cultural heritage? Do I market to everybody? If I'm marketing to everybody, how do I get them to start getting familiar with my kind of food? Then the next thing is also finding information. So those were the big takeaways from ours. So, and yeah, for solution, we have having access to insider information. I think that one Mr. Abubakar mentioned. Then knowing where to find the right suppliers was also another one. So I think I'll just put them up. We have finding suppliers. So some people talked about the costs. Like one person on our group mentioned that initially when she started doing her business, she was buying from Coles and Woolies, and the pricing wasn't like profitable. It was ridiculously high until she got an insider information on where to buy, basically. So, and some other people talked about partnership as well. Also events. So some people talked about the costs. Like one person on our group mentioned that initially when she started doing her business, she was buying from Coles and Woolies, and the pricing wasn't like profitable. It was ridiculously high until she got an insider information on where to buy, basically. So, and some other people talked about partnership as well.
So for the fourth group, we shared a little points. I think the major ones are different council registration. So we had people who were very passionate about this, and for them, I think they've tried a couple of times to sell at the food market, and then they discovered that each of these council has different requirements, and there's also a couple of lengthy period for you to get the approval and the permits to sell in these markets. So that's actually an issue. While you are waiting, you're not even sure, you're filling different forms from different council. So imagine you have a particular food business, you're selling, let's use snacks, you're selling snacks. Your business is not changing, but the requirements from each of the states is different. So that's really a bit of an issue and a headache or a bottleneck to go about with. And then some of these forms are not online at all. Sorry, they are online, or you can't fill and submit online. So you have to print it out. Even getting a printer is an issue. You have to print it out, manually fill it, and then return it. And then another thing is the annual fee for this council. So you pay annually, and you may end up maybe just attending one of these farm markets and not even the whole lot, but your fee that you pay is just for one. So some of the solutions we outlined is how the community can help is, I don't know if there can be like a collaboration, have this knowledge, or like a portal where you actually go and have this information on hand. Like you want to sell to a particular city or state, you already have an idea of where to go instead of you just moving around and you're not very sure of exactly what to do. Then the second point we raised was getting funding through grants. So like I think this was something a lot of us there were really interested in, how to get funding. And then we suggested maybe get like a resource person. I think I shared that Multicultural Food Hub actually held a webinar last year where somebody who had actually gotten funding around came and like she was like a resource person at the webinar. So one of the things solutions we found that is if we could have somebody that is really knowledgeable about how to get funding for small businesses can organize a workshop or a webinar or a seminar where people can just come and really learn one or two things about how to get it. Then there was also the issue about ingredient sourcing. Yeah, how to really get these authentic ingredients, and the solution is like maybe a collaboration between small businesses and these food suppliers who can really provide these ingredients at an affordable price. Then the last one is information center. So like we discussed in my group, most people are not really sure where to start and how to start. Like there's no clear path, there's no like, for lack of a better word, like a cheat sheet where you can say, okay, you want to start your business, this is how you can start it, this is where you can go, this is what you can do, this is who you can meet. So if we have this resource, this information readily available, so someone that wants to start, because I think from the group we found out that a couple of people are just in that stage where they really want to start, they haven't started yet, so they really need the guidance. And if they can have like a resource center where somebody can put them through from branding, marketing, and every other information that they need to start their business, to be super helpful.
Okay. I think at this point I want to say thank you to everyone, and just in 5 minutes, do we have anything, comments or something that we want to share regarding this session? Maybe you missed an information or something that you want to share. Otherwise, we'll bring up the QR code for feedback. Oh yeah, I've got Taiwo. Yes, Taiwo.
Thank you very much, and thanks for organizing this program.
I got this information this afternoon and I kind of sent a message, but I didn't get any response. But my friend that sent me the link, I had to send her, give her a call. I gave her a call and then she shared the link with me, and that's why I'm able to join. I want to say that this is one of the best webinars I've attended here in Australia, and this is something that majority of the business owners in Australia need to have. So I want to ask, do you have like how do I join your mailing list so I could get subsequent information about your subsequent trainings? And the next thing I would like to ask is if you can share the webinar recordings with us, would be nice. Yeah, and and if you have like a write-up for starters like us, I'm just starting my business, just about getting into the business pool in Australia, so I'm trying to find my footings, and it would be nice if I can get something from your hand. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Taiwo.
I think I have to congratulate you for this. It's a good forum that you have just raised. And even though I'm not in the business of food, but I do have food as part of most of my events and all the stuff. It's something that if you need my help, I can help you out with some of the stuff. But I do believe that two things you must focus on is information itself. Information on business plan, what do you call it? Compliance, permit. I understand somebody is talking about permits, or they are different, but our councils are different. So if you're going to deal in the council, you have to deal with that permit. So permit is very important, and then short courses, specifically things like food handling. If you're specifically dealing with food. So food handling is something that is very important that you have to put out there and partner with any association so that they can help these new people coming into this business to get certification and training properly. Occupational health and safety is another very important aspect that you need to actually put up in your product for Africans to understand very, very well. And then the aspect of insurance, getting the right insurance and liabilities, public liabilities, indemnity insurance, and also understanding the aspect of pay rates. Understanding the aspect of pay rates, it's very, very important, so that I have actually fallen a victim in certain aspect of things like that. So you need to understand how, having that personal agreement, and then tomorrow having a fallout might lead into your after surviving, creating a big business, and then everything goes down. I don't know if most of you read about Master Food, Master Chef. When the Master Chef was there, and just because some certain pay rates, the top Master Chefs there were all they all lost everything they did for that program because of just little mistakes. So those are very important, because today we didn't talk about anything about pay rates. I know some of you are not looking at that, but those are things that will come handy when you become big or you need other people to help you out and you pay them wrongly or something like that. You end up with big problems. So those type of informations are things you need to actually have on board at the same time in terms of the training. And then the aspect of bulk sourcing. Specifically, we've got a lot of African shops today. Your organization can actually work in partnership with these people to create a very simplistic way for your members to have specific delivery and sourcing of products from these people, or you helping them to get this in bulk. I think the bulk building will help the smaller businesses to start effectively well.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that bulk sourcing is a big one, because at the end of the day, you buy something small, it costs you so much. to buy something in small sizes. Yeah, thank you very much. We're going to definitely have that in mind.